general nerdery.
So, thanks to terrible timing of people who don't know each other, and it's none of their faults, I've had 3 social days in a row together. And it occurred to me, I used to have people over at my house like 6 days a week. Like, always had people over, social every moment. I've done 3 days in a row, and I'm so tired that I walked into a wall twice today.
Oof.
Like,
like how much into a wall? Are we talking like face? We like shoulder jab?
I mean, one, I just kind of bounced off it with my shoulder, and then the other, I misjudged a door. But
So it could have been worse.
yeah, no, it's not like I just face
You also
planted,
do
but
work
also
where you could walk into a wall.
There's not a lot of room in the back sometimes.
I love that you're trying to find me an excuse to justify this. No, I walked into a wall.
I mean, more so than like other positions. You were literally walking around spaces. Sometimes I could imagine you walking backwards into a wall just because of space existing.
Fair enough. Anyways, welcome to General Nerdery, your podcast about liking things. I'm Zach.
I'm Tyler.
And that's Steven, as you heard, once again.
Hi, I'm Steven.
The host who's not a host.
Lieutenant General.
God, at this point, yeah. And we're here for more anime discussions, I guess.
It's our beach summer anime episodes.
We are well into September at this point.
Well, we got started on it late.
Yeah.
So we're just making up for time, and like summer doesn't mean
Hey,
anything.
it's anime, baby. We're doing some filler arc.
Anyways, before that, what have we been ingesting?
What? So
Oh no.
no. Well, I
You've
actually
done this show so many times.
I know, I just completely forgot about it.
I feel like I haven't been ingesting much lately. I don't know. There's one, though, that I remember that I meant to bring up last time, and I felt really bad that I didn't as soon as we got done, but I brought up a bunch of other shit, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah.
So the latest season of Miracle Workers, I think, is my favorite.
Is it out? I didn't realize it was out yet.
It's been coming out. I think there's probably like 2 episodes left to drop.
Okay, yeah. I say like it's a bad thing. No, that's...
It's probably my favorite. It's the one that's a most obvious, like, parody, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the other ones are kind of, like, set in certain times or situations, and this is like, oh no, everything you love about, like, Fallout and Mad Max and post-apocalypse, we're just gonna lampoon it.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's what I wanted from it.
The other ones definitely feel like a pastiche or like an homage to that kind of genre. Like they like Dark Ages definitely feels to me like a fantasy or like a Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yeah,
kind of
here is the most generic fantasy world of all time.
And then we're gonna tell a story on top of that.
But yeah, I think it's my favorite so far.
Nice.
Really good. I think even like a Dune reference or two.
Oh, shit.
And
What is that actress's name? I really got to learn it because I love her.
Geraldine something.
yeah, I can, Viswanathan.
She looks real good in that post-apocalyptic getup.
I think she's also doing a new movie that looks really fucking good that I now need to look up.
Like, not to objectify her, which is like, oh, the girl's pretty, but like, it works for me.
I mean, we're gonna also objectify Daniel Radcliff in that, so like we're gonna do it respectfully. But
he
we're
does
gonna,
pull it off. Yeah.
We're gonna objectify that. I mean, he looks fucking good in that can or what's he in
Coming around the mountain.
yeah.
The burlesque.
Burlesque. There it is. That's the word I'm looking for.
It's surprising how many people are wearing the Mad Max outfit and making it work. Because Taika did it in Our Flagman's Death.
Yeah, that was basically just the Mad Max outfit. Daniel Radcliffe's is a little bit more interesting because it's the Mad Max one, but it feels more like the Fallout version of the Mad Max one, where there's like actual like tires incorporated and shit.
Oh, okay.
Loving it so far. Otherwise, been playing more Dredge, been playing more Snap, and I don't know if I started any other new shows. I started playing some... the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game dropped. Been getting down on that a little bit.
You were downloading that when I was here last week, so yeah, that's...
I normally don't go in for like those asymmetrical shooter / survivor / depending on the game. It depends how it's set up, but
It can
like
work.
yeah,
I like
it
them
can
sometimes.
work. The The ones that I like tend to be a little bit more PvE rather than PvP. I guess I don't like the PvP ones, like Dead by Daylight and stuff. But something like
Same.
Left 4 Dead, all about that.
Heard. Seconded.
Oh, Left 4 Dead 2 was like my favorite game in college.
Oh, yeah. No, I clocked in a lot of hours on those games.
But Texas Chainsaw Massacre and not being like randomly assigned to victims or families, so I can just always be the family and not be fucking scared all the time.
That's right. You don't do horror games.
I don't do horror games, but I love me some TCM, and so far really digging it. Me and Danny and one of our other coworkers all got on and were just like wrecking as the family the other night. And I mean wrecking until we got like 4 games in, and suddenly the matchmaking started putting us against people who knew what they were doing, and we still didn't even know where all the exits were, so then we started getting wrecked, but still it was a good time.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the thing on those games. You do a couple and you're like, I'm a god, and they're like, oh.
Oh,
no.
You think you're a god. Our matchmaking just didn't know what to do with you. Here you go. And then we got boned. But good time. Good time.
Oh, yeah.
Rocking the cook. I'm a cook main so far. Not that that means anything to you guys, but...
No, I literally just thought you found a weird way to say you've been cooking more lately.
No, I have been cooking more lately, but it's been very easy stuff.
I have picked up the Food Wars cookbook arrived,
Oh,
and I haven't
nice.
fucked with it yet. But I'm definitely I was reading some of the recipes.
Oh, I really hope it has that fried egg thing in there. I really want that. I want to do that.
Which fried egg
The
thing?
tempura fried egg where he freezes the egg.
I don't remember. I know
He
that
makes it for Erna.
I know the chicken is in there. The chicken bites that they do to keep the open air market going.
Oh, nice.
And damn, it sounds good.
Oh, I wonder if they have even the recipe for the wrap that they make.
Yes.
Nice.
They don't have as many recipes as I thought it was going to have, but it is like 15, 20 recipes. So
That's pretty good for a cookbook, especially a cookbook based on an anime series.
that I don't think was finished coming out when this came out.
Yeah.
Oh, and then also started playing some Loop Hero, and it's a lot of fun.
I do not know that one.
Loop Hero, it's this little indie roguelike where it's like super like 8-bit and shit. The story's kind of interesting so far. It seems like the world was destroyed and your hero wakes up and it's like he's slowly remembering things, and as he remembers them, they seem to start to exist again. But he's stuck on this path that always ends up in a loop, and it's kind of weird and a mystery's unfolding. I'm not that far in it, far enough in it to know much more than that, but the combat's all automated. The travel's all automated. You just start and stop things. But when he defeats something in battle, you get equipment so that you can make yourself tougher. But you also get these cards where you can place things on the loop that he's in. So you're the one deciding how tough it's going to be and where your character is going to encounter enemies. And so what you're trying to balance is giving him more things so that you can earn more loot and earn more stuff to upgrade your village, but not making it so tough that you kill your hero.
I'm sure that makes sense if you play the game.
Yeah, it's just like every time you start off on an expedition, it's just like this randomly made loop.
Mm-hmm.
And when you kill something, you get something so you can be like, there's going to be a swamp on this part of the loop.
Okay.
And
yeah.
the swamp every day spawns one rat you have to kill.
Okay, interesting.
And then you just keep doing shit like that to keep making it harder, but not so hard that you accidentally kill yourself.
Okay.
Interesting. I like that. I'm very curious into
That
checking
does sound
this out.
interesting, yeah.
And because everything's all automated except for placing things, super easy to just like kick back and like do a little bit between snap rounds. Great.
The amount of efficiency you've worked into playing like 6 video games simultaneously is
While
truly
listening
impressive.
to a podcast or an audiobook.
I get made fun of for multitasking, but damn, Tyler.
Damn, I feel like we all might have some ADHD
Really?
or some sort of
This
neurodivergence
podcast.
of something, because I do the same.
I mean, any podcaster ever, I think, probably has ADHD based off of all of the ones I listen. Maybe not Dan Carlin, but that's about it.
I mean, there's probably a few, but they're just weird in other ways.
Do you need me to go next? Give you some...
None of mine are good.
Yeah, mine's pretty short too this week. But
in that, like, so I watched Rookie of the Year relatively recently.
No shit, I haven't seen that. Oof. Wow, that's been 25 years? When did it come out?
Oh, I think it came out in the early 90s. It's definitely pretty old.
I saw it in theaters.
I'm thinking of The Rookie. Okay, I'm thinking of a different movie.
Yeah, Rookie of the Year basically is a kid breaks his arm and it regrows in a way where he can pitch really fucking good, and he gets drafted to play for the Chicago Cubs, and he's a child. It's got Gary Busey, and he's like he's the pitcher that like is there beforehand, and like takes him under the
such an
wing.
early '90s concept.
Dates
movie.
his mom.
Was it the same kid from A Kid in King Arthur's Court?
Yes, it was.
Oh my god!
And so I just watched that. I think right around the last time we recorded, and then this weekend I subsequently was watching the American Pie movie franchise because the same kid goes on to be in those movies.
That's right.
Who is he in those movies?
He is not. He's
He's
just one of
the
the.
baby face, like, kind of isn't known for things like the others are.
Yeah,
oh,
he's
the one
dating-
that didn't make it. Okay, gotcha.
He didn't make it because he made enough fucking money as a child that he doesn't need to work ever again.
You know what I mean? Like,
But like that's the fucking weird thing about the American Pie movies. Everybody is fucking recognizable, other than one guy of the main four. I don't know. Like it's like actually all five of the main guys are doing stuff except for one of them. You got
Chris Klein.
Chris Klein. He's doing a Netflix series that my partner just watched, Steel Magnolias. I'm pretty sure. You got
Pie Fucker.
Pie Fucker, which I can't remember his name. Jason Biggs. There it is.
Yep.
He
Loser.
just he had a long running role on Orange is the New Black.
he had an appearance in Strike Back, which is what you were.
Yeah.
Then the guy from Rookie of the Year and Kid in King Arthur's Court doesn't really do a lot of work. He works, but he works at his own pace. It seems like he does not need to. He just like
The Dream.
yes. I'm like, oh my god, he did it. I want to be you. And then Stifler,
Which
Sean
is
William
wild
Scott.
because I was like, when you said Rookie of the Year, I thought of The Rookie, which is the one where I think Stifler plays, it might not be The Rookie, but he plays some sports movie where he's like.
You're thinking of
pulled in.
Goon.
Goon, that's what I was thinking of, yeah.
It's
It's just weird that we both went to American Pie, but I was 100% wrong on what my target was.
It's just got so many fucking people in it.
Which-
Natasha Lyonne, Tara Reid, fucking Casey Affleck plays guy from Rookie of the Year's older brother.
It's also weird because it's the movie that Sean William Scott went on to do because basically it was taking too long for Kevin Smith to find financing to do a movie that he wanted to do about a goon in hockey called Hit Somebody that he was going to try to cast Sean William Scott in.
The Goon?
Oh wow! And then didn't why can I not remember his name? Jay Baruchel. He ended up making that Goon. I'm pretty sure.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that fucking movie with Stifler in it that was like an action movie, Bulletproof Monk?
Oh, yeah.
I went through his IMDb page and I realized I had somehow watched basically
Most of his filmography.
90% of his filmography. Basically every single movie he put out from his first movie, which I think is American Pie, maybe Final Destination. I remember.
Dude, Where's My Car was his.
That's after. All the way up to 2007. Like he started acting in the mid 90s. I somehow just like, well, I guess I'm fucking watching every Sean William Scott movie. And I've still seen a lot of them. There's some
Does
hit or
that
miss
include
after
Dukes
that.
of Hazzard?
It's
Because
the
I'm pretty
Noble Rabbit.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Fucking a lot of. He's done a lot of bad movies. I've seen a lot of them.
Yeah, Bulletproof Monk, but I also want to watch again.
I watched his run on the Lethal Weapon TV series that they did recently, where they recast Riggs.
Well, yeah.
Well, because the other guy was like a neo-Nazi. I can't remember. He did something wrong. Bad. Very, very bad.
Oh, yeah. And he was like, that show will die without me. And everyone's like, it's Lethal
Yeah.
Weapon.
Hey, we got Sean William Scott, and he's going to be actually the real Riggs, and somehow we're going to write it so that you were like a fake
Fake
Riggs,
Riggs.
basically.
Now I'm suddenly interested, and I
I
don't
know.
care about Lethal Weapon.
I mean, they just
Like,
kept trying to
movie-
cancel that show the entire time it was in production and up through its airing.
And then
Wait,
there's Shipwreck, who's
Lethal-
the one who's not doing anything.
Yeah, he's
right?
the other one that I don't have no fucking clue what he's doing. Finch / Shipwreck. The guy who fucks Stifler's mom in the movies. Jennifer Coolidge is in these movies.
Stifler's mom, the
Allison
actress, has
Hannigan.
talked about how
John Cho.
John Cho. That's
Really?
his. I think that's his first major feature film.
He's MILF guy. John Cho is the guy that brought us MILF.
Yeah.
Really, I haven't watched that movie since probably around when it came out when I wasn't supposed to be watching it.
Which the weird thing is that I had a very strong recollection of seeing the third one in theaters with my mom and siblings.
That sounds terrible.
My mom's always been was always really lax around like sex comedy stuff, mostly just like,
That's fair.
it's fine. It's okay. Like,
My dad is a prude. God love him. Everything about him is wonderful, but he's a prude. So
I'm
that just sounds like...
happy she went that direction and that she was just like, I don't really like the violence. We're gonna cap that stuff, but like sex, that's fine. It's
Somehow the main thing I remember about American Pie is an interview I read with the person who played Stifler's mom.
Jennifer
like a year ago,
Coolidge.
Jennifer Coolidge, and she's like,
I
I
so
got
much play
whatever
off it.
dick I wanted for the next like 3 years. Like,
good for her. She deserves
She
it.
could still get it.
Oh
yes,
oh,
but that
yes, she
was
can.
apparently
She's
that
in
was
White
a very
Lotus right now?
specific era.
Yeah, she just capped off an amazing 2 seasons of White Lotus.
think
She
I-
will not be back.
Bummer.
Minor spoiler.
Doesn't everyone die in White Lotus, anyways?
Probably.
There are deaths every season, but not the way that season 2 ended. I guess it's only been 2 seasons. There's not enough to really establish that much of a pattern, but
Fair enough.
And then the other thing that we're not going to talk about at the second half of this podcast that I've been watching is, weirdly enough, the Twilight franchise. My partner's watching them because we're going to go to that relative area that it's set in on vacation in a month or two. So she was like, sure, this is on Peacock. Let's watch this. My God, those movies are horrible.
Yes, that's
no, there. Thank you.
They're
That
just unrelentingly boring and slow, and just like even when it's supposed to be being fast, it's like you're
There's
clearly
a
slow.
wild fan base for them though that fucking love them. I have friends that are like aware that they're absolute trash movies from like a gender relations and relationship goals movie that just adore them though. Like
I will never put them on, but if anybody's watching it, I'm in. It is they have a very disturbing baby in the last one. I don't know if
Ooh,
you
that
guys saw
baby is
that.
not good.
It's
Oof.
not good.
oh right, the like bad CGI baby.
Bad CGI on top of also they had an incredibly weird like animatronic fake baby.
Oh no.
Which
It's the most terrifying part of the franchise.
It's the most terrifying part of the entire franchise, and they have an uncomfortable fuck cabin that they go to.
I only have seen the first one.
the fights in the last couple go off.
No, they're not really. I just watched these. They don't. They're very slow. They're very bad.
Isn't there some sort of weird violence in those ones?
Yeah, there's some weird violence, but it's all
Maybe
just, like,
it's not the fights. Maybe
casual.
that's what I was thinking of. But like, they get kind of weirdly intense.
They do, but it's also like immediately undercut by the
rest of the dumbness.
the rest of the dumbness in that the last 2/3 of the last movie is entirely a dream sequence.
It was a dream sequence. I didn't know it was 2/3 of it. Jesus
Or
Christ.
I don't know if 2/3 is accurate, but
a
it's a lot.
significant amount.
It's a significant amount, or 2 dream sequences. Like one of them is a different dream sequence, and the other one's a different.
the only time I've only ever seen the first Twilight, and I watched the Riff Tracks version.
I was about to
which
say that's the way to watch it. Is riff
is
tracks.
a fucking delight. Honestly,
I should
Like,
watch that.
I mean,
I like
I already like. It's the MST
Yeah.
3K guys. Like I was gonna like it, but that was like the best Riff Tracks they did. Ooh, I don't know. Battlefield Earth was fucking great.
It's funny, I might have both of those saved on my computer currently as we speak.
Let's see. I don't have too many new things, particularly because I've realized about myself. What have I been ingesting has basically been what have I been ingesting over the last 3 days, unless it's like an ongoing thing. Still working through Chuck.
Nice.
In the Brandon Ruth era before he goes villainous. I just fucking love Brandon Ruth, man.
So good.
Anything
Dude,
he
did
does.
you watch that show that I sent you that he did?
No, it's been sitting in my tabs for a week.
Brandon Ruth did a little short with the guy from Reaper. the main guy from Reaper.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And they're just like security guards, just like shooting the shit while at a factory that makes monsters, basically. It's delightful. I highly recommend checking it out. I can't remember the name of it.
We should fucking do Reaper on this show sometime.
Reaper's so
fucking great.
Ray Wise might be my favorite devil.
Yeah. He is the best devil.
Yeah. Yeah. Ray Wise is so fucking weird. Let's see.
That's who the Count also look like. Not just Robert Goulet, but he looks kind of like Ray Wise.
Which Count?
In Cagliostro.
Holy shit. Yeah. Okay.
Oh my god, that's
I'm not
who it
saying
is.
they should do a live action Cagliostro because they absolutely should not, but like if they did, Ray Wise would have to be the Count.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
Even though he's like 150 these days. Doesn't matter. It would actually just kind of like continue the...
But like Twin Peaks era Ray Wise, oh hell yeah, that is spot on the Count.
He's going to show up in Chuck soon too. Because Chuck cast everybody. Let's see. I don't remember if I talked about reading Danger Girl last time. I know I've talked to you about it, but I don't remember if it was on the podcast. Danger Girl is by J. Scott Campbell. It is a very horny comic, but in like early 90s kind of horny, not like, pornographic. That is just a love letter to spy movies. So it is the Danger Girl organization that's totally not Charlie's Angels for copyright reasons. That is a spy organization of impossibly beautiful women that are brought together by a man only known as Deuce, who is clearly Sean Connery, James Bond, just with a ponytail and a beard.
You don't share.
Like old retired, like, I used to work for MI6.
Does he have a ponytail and a beard in Zardos?
Yes.
He pulls it off. Actually, he pulled it off in fairness.
I mean, he pulls off that look for Zardos. It's a challenging look to pull off fucking red Speedo and bandoliers.
They took Zardoz, like that character or that look, and literally brought it in to be a Superman character, Superman villain. I can't think of his fucking name. He ends up trying to marry Power Girl a lot. But it's that. Doesn't matter. But it brings in, like, there's a character that's kind of a mix between Diabolique, who is a French comic that's been running for fucking nonstop forever. That's about a, like, murder thief.
You talked about them over on Word Balloons when we were covering Phantom X.
Yes.
Vartox.
God damn it. That's the name of the... Yeah. And also very clearly some, like, G.I. Joe, Storm Shadow, and Snake Eyes stuff. But...
Oh, wow, that is just straight up Zardos.
Yep. One of the side characters in this is basically just Bruce Campbell. In Danger Girls, like, he was clearly, like, casting off of actors, even though he was doing a comic. And luckily, Bruce Campbell liked it enough that he wrote the intro to the collected edition. But it is peak, Bruce Campbell from, like, Briscoe County Jr. era or that awful Revolutionary War era one that he did that was like a half-hour James Bond in the Revolutionary War era France special. Jack of all trades. That's what that was called.
Yeah,
that's
it.
It's not good. It was fun. My roommate disagreed with me when I was watching it about it being fun. So I've been working through all of those, varying quality. I think the biggest thing is I watched the first 2 episodes of Ahsoka.
Oh, yeah, I haven't got to that yet.
I am fascinated what you're going to think of that as someone who has not watched Rebels.
I really wanted to get to it before we recorded this, and then I did not manage my time well this weekend.
I understand. It's live action Rebels. Holy shit, it leans so heavily. It even uses a lot of the same musical cues. So, like, Rebels is my favorite piece of Star Wars media ever. It's just like, yes, give me more. And someone who had not seen Rebels and is in the huge Star Wars is like, I have no idea what's happening. But I mean, that's always been the risk with Ahsoka. They were really advertising. It's like, you don't need to have any previous knowledge to follow this. But don't you?
I mean, I have no previous knowledge, and I'm not interested in it majorly because I don't have any previous knowledge, I guess.
I don't know. Like,
I'm interested mostly because of Rosario.
I would love for you to see it just because I'm curious on it, and I think it's really well done, and it's got Mandos, and it's got
I am
fucking-
meaning to watch it because I just read a very long post about it from someone that I follow that was writing up some criticisms about some of how it's handled a character.
Which character?
Like an offhanded character, someone that basically betrays the people. I forget the term or the alliance for money, and they're basically they're leveraging criticisms that it's basically not straight up anti-Semitism, but some haphazardly written lazy anti-Semitism by casting a person who is generally casted as a Jewish actor. I think they are Jewish. I don't know for sure, but there's also it's a Star Wars franchise. I don't know if there's Judaism in Star Wars.
This is not Dune.
But like he is casted 9 times out of 10 because he looks like a Jewish man.
And
To play a Jewish role, and they put him in a role where he betrays a bunch of people for money. And that's like kind of the me boiling down the argument that this person was making an actual well-written criticism of it.
You know, that's really interesting. Like I could, and that's one of the ones that I could see. Like maybe it is anti-Semitism in there. I'm not like disagreeing with this article that I have not read, but I could also see even the actor being like, "Oh shit, like what?"
Who's the actor?
I have no idea.
I can't remember their name offhand.
I don't even remember the scene, and I've watched it last week, so it might even be a different.
It might be
show.
like I'm pretty sure I read this yesterday, so it might be newer. I'm not entirely
I don't know.
It was enough that I'm curious to like make my own kind of.
I really
opinions
enjoyed
on
it so far. They bury the fucking lead that David Tennant's in it.
But he's also only doing a voice of a robot.
Yeah, but still, it's David Tennant. Like, he's nerd fucking royalty. And
Yeah,
this
that's
is
wild. I didn't know
Ahsoka.
that.
I honestly get burying it in this situation of like he's doing a robot voice.
I get it, but like they've put so much like Ahsoka's there, or not Ahsoka, Rosario's there.
Because she's the main character.
I know. I'm just. Thrawn is going to show up. Did you know that Thrawn is going to be around? Anyone who's not watched Rebels or read fucking books from 1992 has no idea who the fuck Thrawn is, but we're going to put Thrawn in the fucking... But
Yeah.
David Tennant, whatever. He just has fucking Good Omens 2 come out, which I still need to goddamn
I
watch.
still need to watch.
I'm curious to wonder if they were like less advertising that because Good Omens 2 just came out.
Well, yeah, but also, like, Disney just got the distribution rights for Doctor Who. It's all going on to Disney Plus, which was a huge fucking win for them, and they pushed that really hard. So I was like, yeah, come on. Like, and who knows? I don't know. Maybe he's only in, like, these, like, 3 episodes, too. I just was like, shit.
Isn't part of that deal that Disney's going to be throwing them some money for the
Yes.
next season? Yeah.
They've like tripled Doctor Who's budget, but in fairness, Doctor Who's budget was about $14 and a piece of string.
Oh, man.
So-
I don't know
They
if
have no creative control.
Oh, thank God.
It is still made by the BBC. It is almost entirely run by Bad Wolf Productions, which is RTD's. And Russell T Davies was the guy who relaunched Doctor Who.
Which, like, I was very
And-
excited about that, and then, like, hearing Disney was putting money, it's just like, oh, God, I hope
They got
don't
that
have
sweet Disney money and it's like a pittance for Disney. It's nowhere near,
Yeah, like-
anything that Disney's putting out on their own shows.
I'm just
But-
apprehensive of them putting
You
their
get the
spoon in
revenue
their
from
pot
our
and
hot
stirring it
dog
up too much.
stand.
Yeah, basically, like, now the funding is $30 and 2 pieces of string.
They'll put those two pieces of string to work, though.
Yeah, it'll be whatever they want it to
We're
be.
going to see a lot of costumes featuring those strings.
Yeah, I think that's about it for me. I've been wanting to game lately, but I just don't have fucking time.
I have something that I'm planning to ingest. Cyberpunk what is it? Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. It is a new game from I'm forgetting the studio, but it's basically a spiritual successor to Jet Set Radio.
I
And
heard
Jet Set
about
Radio
this.
Future.
I've really wanted to
It just
play
came
it.
to the Switch. It's also on Steam. I don't think it's on any of the other consoles yet.
You should text me this name so I don't
will
lose
do
it
this.
again.
Same.
I will do this. It is the same studio that developed Lethal League, and Lethal League they did us like basically a master collection where they added some stuff for consoles. It looks fucking awesome. I think they got the same soundtrack. The person who did the soundtrack for the original Jet Set Radios, Marcus and Meats, has been telling me about it. I'm
He does not stop talking when he's excited for a video game.
And this is one that he is excited for, and I've heard nothing but great things about it, so.
I never actually played Jet Set Radio, but I always knew the style was super cool, and I still listen to the playlist on Spotify.
Future.
Oh, so yeah, same. I played Future a ton. And then just because I mentioned it earlier, but that short with Brendan Routh is called Cost of Living. It is directed and written by Ben David Garbinski, just in case anybody's interested in checking it out.
Nice.
I thought of one other thing I ingested, and I felt... Whenever I think of what I've been ingesting, I always think about the shit that, like, I'm right over in that other room taking on. But
Yeah.
I just thought of two more things, and one of them we should talk about because we all fucking went.
Oh, yeah, Blue Beetle.
Oh, holy shit. How did we not talk about Blue Beetle?
We
We
went
definitely
together.
ingested Blue Beetle.
Fucking rules.
It was so fucking fun.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, loved it. I need to see it again.
I
still
want to
feel
do
like
an episode about it, so yeah.
I cried
twice. I have a weird bit going on with me where I loved it, but I don't feel as hyped as I feel like I should feel for how much I love it.
Explain.
Like
I feel like I understand what you're saying.
Like I feel like it should. What I feel about it should almost energize me more, because that's how it usually hits me when I see shit like that.
Fuck yeah, Blue Beetle. Fuck yeah, fuck yeah. Okay.
And I haven't really been like that. I've been sort of just still like mulling on it. And I'm not quite sure where that's all coming from, because I did fucking love it and I want to see it again very soon. But
And like we literally just talked about doing a full episode on it so we can get into it deeper. I think the reason I'm feeling that personally is the nebulous uncertainty with where it sits.
It is part of the current James Gunn era.
Interesting. I was not aware of that.
From what I understand, James Gunn has been like, it's not necessarily my baby. Didn't have much influence, but like, yes, it is part of our.
I thought what you said was more of like, if it does well and has good reception, then there's no reason it can't be part of
that
mine.
could be it.
And that's what I was understanding of. Like, if it works, will continue to use it. But if it doesn't sell well, then they'll just say,
It's
fuck it.
gotten great reviews. I have no idea how well it's sold,
Yeah.
though.
I think it's about to outpace Fury of the Gods, but that's no big feat.
No. And then my other
Also, in
complaints,
fairness, I don't think they were expecting it
and
to
it's
do
not even
well,
a complaint. It is that it is a bit of an origin story.
Yeah.
It's not a bit of. It just is.
It is an origin story. But like, also that said, it's still a pretty fucking good origin story.
I will say this, like, I get the exhaustion of origin stories, and we don't need a Spider-Man origin story again. We needed a Blue Beetle. If you're going to do a Blue Beetle movie, you have to do the fucking origin story, because it's, Did you know who the Blue Beetle was before we watched it? Like, you knew the name,
I knew
but
who the Blue Beetle was, but that's because I've watched Young Justice and I knew of contextually.
Okay,
like,
yeah.
I'd seen Jaime in other iterations. I didn't know anything about Ted Kort. I didn't know anything about Dan Garrett. I didn't know anything about previous Blue Beetles other than what you've told me over on like Word Balloons.
the
and
director
General
wants
Nerdery.
Jason Sudeikis to come in to play Ted Kord in a sequel.
I want it so bad.
Don't heavy breathe into a podcast like that. People will think they're listening to porn.
I'm sorry, I got really
Just
horny for
filled
that.
the cup.
I've never enjoyed George Lopez as much as I have there. And that's not anything against
G-Lo
George
seemed like
Lopez.
he was
It's
having
just-
a fucking
He looked
blast.
like he was fucking living for this movie.
Yeah, that is my favorite George Lopez thing.
Susan Sarandon looked like she was having fun too, just being like,
Mhm.
there's no depth to her villainy, but there didn't need to be, which I appreciated.
I'm
I
a
wish-
money-hungry warmonger.
Yeah.
That's about it.
I'm a problematic white lady. Like, okay, got it.
Wish
Also
there would have been
problems.
more Harvey Guillen.
Oh, yeah.
Which one is...
Guillermo from What We Do in the Shadows.
yeah.
Not Sanchez.
Not Sanchez. I guess, so here's the thing. I love the movie. One of the things I'm running up against, and if we're going to do an entire episode, I'm going to hold back a little bit, but
Now I'm
like,
curious.
I came out of there feeling like it was a movie that was already Blue Beetle light, but that we still needed to know more about the family for how much we were centered with them.
I do agree. Yeah.
Also, it was Blue Beetle light.
See, I honestly didn't hate that because I felt like they didn't feel They understood the assignment that it's becoming the most boring part of an action movie when you do two CGI people punching each other for like 5 minutes. And there was only one bit of the CGI action fights that like I felt started to drag. And even then it was only like 30 seconds too long for me.
I will counter this with I wish I had seen Blue Beetle just goofing around a little bit more.
I will grant that.
We didn't see Jaime really get to fuck around.
Yeah, a little bit more like Spider-Man swinging through the city.
Something like that.
Okay.
I felt like that was missing a little bit.
No, I did love it. It did remind me very heavily of a project I've been wanting to do for a while. That maybe I'll actually, I don't know. I know people. I've done stupid video projects. But
I'll do stupid video projects that made you think of Blue Beetle.
I'll run Gaff.
well,
You can tell us about it after this if you want. That's
yeah, all right. I'm gonna save this in case it never comes to fruition. All you motherfuckers out
do
there
not
can't
promise things online.
Yeah, I'm not
If
gonna
you're not-
promise anything, but I think it'd be fun.
Okay.
And it ties not in so much to the Blue Beetle as to El Chapulín, Colorado. Which did you guys get? Like the El Chapulín, Colorado bit? Like
Was that the what George Lopez like hacked into their stuff with?
Well, so he's like, yeah, I got this jammer. It's like I call it El Chapulín, and then it's that red and with like the yellow highlights, and then when we waited around for the after credits, there was the claymation of the.
And I knew that was referencing a specific thing. I just don't know enough to like necessarily know what that.
I know it referenced again through like basically isn't Bumblebee Man a knockoff of this in
Right,
Simpsons?
Bumblebee Man is a fucking reference to El Chapulín.
There's a
Colorado.
Marvel character that's also a reference.
So, El Chapulín, Colorado, I discovered probably about 5 or 6 years ago. It's not something I like grew up with, but I ended up watching a bunch of the episodes. I don't know if they're still up on there, but there was a bunch of them on YouTube. It was a actually decently long running, I want to say like 9-year superhero show on Mexican television in the 70s. And it was a parody of all the superhero shows that were going on at the time. Because it would have come like right after Batman 66, would have been like while like Wonder Woman was going and all that shit. And he was basically like a shitty superhero where by the end of the episode, like things would still usually go his way, but it wasn't because he was very good at anything. It was just like dumb luck.
Yeah, I know I've read about this guy before, but just never enough to like have even the name. Just being like, oh, I know what this is supposed to be.
His intro was like a play on the Superman bit instead of like faster than a locomotive and shit like that. It's like more agile than a refrigerator.
Well, fair.
They're a lot of fun. They really knew what they were getting at. Like I said, it's hard to explain, but I've watched them. It's kind of the Tick, the beta version.
Awesome.
I dig
That's
that.
that's the best way for me to describe it. It's very close to being the Tick.
Interesting.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Edlund was inspired at all by El Chapulín, Colorado.
You almost have to be if you're also making a bug-themed parody.
Which would also be the Cherry Cricket or the Red Grasshopper, depending on how you want to.
I think that's
the
how
Marvel
I've heard
character
it.
based off El Chapulín, or not based off of, but like the borrows. I want to say is Red Locust or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I definitely have heard it. Red Grasshopper.
There was a lot of references to shit and just some really fun, really clever writing with some of the bilingual shit too. Also, they cuss a lot.
In Blue Beetle,
Yeah.
dude.
It
I
also-
was wondering.
That's a violent movie. Like there was a lot of death. Like I was not expecting to see as much murder as we saw in that movie.
I was just kind of surprised. Not surprised, but like the openness that they kind of dealt with. Like they never actually were like, Jaime is a dreamer, but he's got to be a fucking dreamer because they talk about crossing the border and not in a legal.
But he might
way.
be naturalized,
Okay, that's fair.
is what it sounded like.
Yeah,
to
it
me.
sounded like he was nationalized, and that his parents weren't necessarily.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's happened a lot, and that's kind of where that whole clusterfuck is. Just, but like, that is a very, I don't know, like so many movies will still find ways to kind of demonize immigrants over the southern border, and did not They had no time for that in this movie.
There's not often I get to tell this story, and so I just talking about that reminds me. There was one time growing up, I was looking through my dad's old yearbook with him and just being like, "Oh yeah," and he was like, "Oh yeah, I hung out with them," but he grew up in San Diego, so the class was huge. He didn't know everybody. Just like, "Oh, look at that," and I was mostly looking through because I had popped it open at one time, and this chick's fucking afro was like stereotypical fro, and I was like, that is amazing. I need to look at all of your classmates now. But at one point we get to these two brothers, and he's like, oh yeah, so these two, every once in a while they'd have to miss 1 or 2 days a week because they snuck over the border almost every day or every week and would find places to stay and go to school, and they would like work and then like sneak back and bring fucking money back to their folks.
Holy
and they were
shit.
crossing like 100 fucking times a year,
Holy
if not more.
fucking shit.
Now, that's back in the, I assume,
70s.
70s, so...
Well, yeah, I get that, but that's fucking melting my brain right
yes,
now.
no, I don't want to make it sound like less impressive than it is, just also...
Yeah.
That hurts my heart.
Yeah.
But also, damn, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Damn, that's impressive.
You go, you two kids. Like, do what you need to do.
It's like, damn, I really wish you didn't have to do that, but fucking good on you for getting the fucking work done.
Anyway, that's what I got.
All right, let's take a quick...
Oh, no, sorry.
Nope,
I said there was two things
nope,
that I'd
nope,
forgot.
nope, nope.
I went and saw Flogging Molly, and it was fucking great.
Oh, I heard that was a really good concert.
Oh, hell yeah.
It was a great show. I was up front, and I got myself a fucking set list, and I just wanted to brag about it, because...
Flogging Molly was here. Flaming Lips was here this week. Like, it was a great week for concerts that I did not go to.
But, like, growing up back home, when it was me and my homies hanging out at fucking doing nothing, because none of us had jobs, and we were all fucking bums and shit.
Yeah.
Whenever lunchtime came around, and you were able to request songs on the Blaze...
Yeah.
if we actually got through, we would request Drunken Lullabies.
Oh my god!
And that's
taking me
even
back.
if like we weren't hanging out. That's how we knew one of us got through. Was if they suddenly played Drunken Lullabies while one of us were fucking like driving around town or something. We were like, "Oh shit, Joe got through," or "Oh shit, fucking somebody got through." Like, so
That's excellent.
every time I've seen them, it's been a little bit special. And this time I got a fucking set list.
That's
So
awesome. That's sweet.
now I'm done.
Okay, so now we're gonna take a quick break, and when we get back, I guess we're revisiting our high school years,
Yes.
Probably.
but not in a bad way. I have been so stressed about this episode for 2 weeks now because I was pushing hard for us to do Komi Can't Communicate, and then like watching it was like, this is so different than what we normally like watch or ingest for this, and I have no idea how to fucking talk about it even. Like, so I hope you liked it. I know Steven did.
It's charming.
I appreciate it.
It's
It's more like a Wes Anderson movie for me, where there's parts I like, but it's mostly for other people, and I'm glad it's there for them.
Not surprised at all that it worked for Steven. Not really that surprised that it didn't super work for you either.
I don't dislike
No,
it.
I know.
have a feeling, I was thinking about this earlier today. This is definitely going to be one that I'm going to have a hard time talking about where it sounds like I liked it. Because I do, so I want to get that out there right away. I enjoyed it. More appreciated it.
It's not your go-to cup of tea. It's a cup of tea you would drink, but it's not what you ordered.
I wasn't
normally.
worried about you disliking it. I was figuring that, like, at the most, it was probably going to be like, because it is, like it or not, it is a well-made anime.
Oh, absolutely. And I love the theme. Like the musical theme.
They fucking get squeeze every second they can out of that
Oh, yes.
theme. It's like,
And I'm
nice
here
little
for it.
piano bit, quiet moment of silence, dun, 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 like 3 times an episode, and it works. Okay, so if you have not read or watched Komi Can't Communicate, I've mentioned it before several times on the show because it's been my like go-to relaxing thing. I've got 28 volumes of the manga at home. This goes through the first 5 volumes, so they theoretically could go for a while, because it's not done yet either. It is about a normal kid named Hirohito Tadano, who just wants to go through life as like simply as he can. But he befriends Shoko Komi, the, I guess, school kind of princess, school queen. Like this entire school is obsessed with her because they think she's like this bitch and ice queen. But turns out she has extreme social anxiety.
I mean, she's the school goddess technically, but not at this point that we meet her.
Mm-hmm. And her goal is to make 100 friends, and his goal is to survive helping her do so.
He wants to read the room and get by.
I don't think either of you had heard of this series before.
No, I don't think I had, actually.
I don't even know how I found it. I just was like, heard something about it, went, that sounds good, and started reading it, and then bought like 18 volumes in the space of 2 weeks, because I bought like the first 2 or 3, and then just went back and was like, gimme.
I guess the rest of these as well.
Yeah, I guess how do you want to start on this? Steven's been avoiding talking to me about this all day, so we can do it here.
Mostly because I feel like it's kind of going to be hard to talk about because it's kind of just straightforward. It's an anime. It's a high school comedy romance anime. Like there, you have a lot of the common archetypes. You have. We didn't get a beach episode, but they go swimming. There's like it plays to the tropes.
We had a water park episode. Like that's a beach episode.
It's basically a beach episode. I mean, yeah, that's a fucking beach episode. Considering there's the whole bit about everybody talking about the bikinis and everybody's swimsuits. Yeah, I don't know how to describe this or talk about it. I just found it really, really charming. It was delightful. I was expecting, like at the first episode, there's some stuff that I felt was gonna be hinky or like. Could have some anime weirdness that just like immediately didn't. Like the whole I don't really love bits where like this person's so cool and now I'm gonna be their friend and now it's a romance but like that it wasn't a big deal. It's just charming. I felt like they were trying to make it a romance, but it doesn't lean as hard into that, which I enjoyed.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's definite romantic undertones between the two main characters, but they don't feel a heavy need to explore them immediately.
And it feels very wholesome and also, like, accurately depicting that age group of, like, these are some real young, socially awkward people. Of course they're going to be like, oh, he said I'm cute. I'm going to be awkward and flush. It's like, oh, I accidentally bumped into you and touched you, and you're a girl, so, oh, gosh.
I will say, I don't know if this is a thing in Japan or if it's just a thing in anime, but they definitely ride that trope fucking hard across the slice of life anime genre.
As far as I understand, yeah, the genre definitely does that all the time. So it's just a thing.
There are a couple others that I've read after I enjoyed this one. I was just like, oh my god, people. Like, you're allowed to make eye contact. Fuck's sake.
There's some good lines, though, in this. The one that I remember that I really love is at one point, Tadano's following Komi off on an excursion to do something. I don't remember. She's either going
to the coffee one?
It might be the coffee one, or it's when she's off with someone else and he's following to just, like, watch them. But like a little boy and his mom are walking by, and it's like, look, a stalker. And it's like, that's right, that's a stalker.
Tyler,
I'm trying to.
You're allowed to critique
I know.
Like,
I'm trying to think of where to begin and how to go in on it. Because like I said, I don't want to sound overly critical of this because I did enjoy sitting there watching it.
Okay,
but
when
like,
we did...
it's real easy listening type
But
thing.
like when I was oh man.
There's
there's one character in this that I feel like is acting horny enough to be realistic.
Yamai
and they're
should be
the
fired
worst.
into the sun.
And they're the fucking worst.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They're my favorite character in this, and they are the worst
Oh my
character.
God.
And that's part of the problem where I'm running into with this.
They were my least favorite character.
They were my
Yamai-
favorite
Star Wars.
character because they were the only one to me that felt realistic.
Yamai is worse than Mimisaka from Food Wars. Like, when it comes to creepy characters.
I mean, she fucking kidnaps a guy.
Oh, no, I wasn't thinking about the kidnapper.
Oh, okay, because that's...
I don't know any of their names because I didn't care about any of the characters that much.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's part of the problem I'm also running into. I don't know a single one of their names.
Are you
the NB?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Osuna. The one that is non-binary.
Oh,
probably.
everyone's childhood friend. That
Yes.
one.
Yeah, everyone's childhood friend. The worst. I could not stand being around them for, I think, more than a week, and yet was still my favorite character.
Love them. They are great.
Yeah, I also really, really love them.
I could not fucking stand them most of the time because of how hard they were pushing everybody into these situations that they knew were fucking terrible for them.
I do sometimes wonder how much... I think, like, Osuna is definitely a bit of a... I don't want to say a parody of the genre, but I feel like this does kind of poke at some of the slice of life genre of manga.
I mean, I recently fell down a rabbit hole of looking up a lot of anime character archetypes because of a different thing that I'm trying to do. I'm trying to write a tabletop RPG that's not necessarily backstory, but everybody falls into like a very specific, like, I don't know the proper term, but I'm going to use like a dere like subcategory. Like there's tsundere is the one that most people would know of, like a really cold person that like is actually super friendly once they warm up to you.
Tsundere.
Yeah, tsundere. But like there's also like they actually one of them references the maid cafe reviewer guy references Komi being a dori dori dere, which is supposed to be like a super cold, and he's the only person other than Tarano to actually call it, is like he's like, maybe she's this, and it's that she's like super quiet and cold to everybody because she doesn't know how to actually interact with people. But like everybody falls into these general stereotype archetypes for animes, and they're playing them very exaggerated. And I forget which one. I was looking this up, but yeah, they're playing to these tropes that are very standard for anime. It's not doing anything really fairly innovative or like that. Like I feel like there's not a lot of critical analysis I can do of it.
The character that we're talking about is Najimi Osuna.
Yes, Osuna.
Yeah. So he was calling him Osuna or calling them Osuna at first, and then switching to Najimi. I did read a little bit about this book when I first started like picking it up because wanted to make sure. I'm not good at picking manga from a blind thing. Like I can look at the back of a Western comic book and usually be like, oh, this is something I'm going to enjoy. I have no good gauge for manga. So I did some research on this one, and I was a little worried about meeting Najimi because queer, trans, cross-dressing, anything of like men to women or women to men in anime a lot of times can sometimes not land.
That was another thing. It was like, oh, this is gonna either be very bad or just barely skim by.
And for I'm a mostly straight white dude. I can't really say whether it landed or not. It landed better than I expected it to.
Having seen this trope utilized in other animes, and it's done very poorly, I feel like they do a fairly decent job of setting expectations of like, this character is someone who pushes boundaries and is one to push buttons on people and will be doing that constantly. Like in your first interactions with them, you get a real good sense of who this character is. And it's not necessarily because they are non-binary that they do this. It's just that they are that kind of person. So for me, it worked that they were like pushing boundaries with people at certain points.
This isn't the fault of this. It's the fault of everything else that came before it. But the character that is also the most obvious, just non-heteronormative, being the horniest one of the group, needs to die.
Yeah.
Just as a concept.
Because it happens like 95% of the time.
I think it is a direct like slingshot of, for years, because I have like read and watched a bunch of stuff about this, that they were allowed to like when they first started introducing gay characters onto television that were openly gay characters, they were not allowed to be sexual beings.
Well, it's went the other direction for the last 20 years.
And that's kind of the point that I was like working up towards. That for a long time, if you were going to have a queer character on TV, they could be queer, but you could show no sign of them actually like interacting in a queer lifestyle or having a gay character. It's interesting. It's not that I don't think of Najimi as sexual, They are very sexual
They
in their
are.
first episode.
They
but
are,
they're
but
not
also
as...
I would make the argument that I felt like they make several other characters feel relatively equally like sexual in certain ways. Of I forget her name, but Agari, I want to say the one who refers to herself as a dog.
I
Yeah,
don't like that.
I don't like that. But like she definitely had some like sadomasochism, like sexual
Mhm.
energy put on her character as well. And then Yamai was the other one,
Kidnapper.
the kidnapper, who's just like definitely got some fucking weird shit going on, but also seemed like an
She was the horniest one to me. I mean, because Najimi has that, like, admittedly, it's the line that makes me really laugh every time, and I don't know if it should or not, of their,
Maybe just Najimi's around more. Maybe that's where I was
That's fair.
getting it.
And I'm not saying that they're not horny. It's not how I read them
I do
as
agree
much.
that they are around more, and also like I think because of their level of sexual jokes that they make, but also because their character seems to be the kind that is going to be like pushing people's buttons. It's more in your face than the other ones.
But like the joke where they're like, "Oh, I like seeing you like this. It's making me moist," and you just hear them go, "Where?" And I think that joke works on a couple levels because on one hand, the like Najimi's gender is purposely up in the air because they're pretty much just a trickster being given human form. Like they may as well.
I did enjoy that.
They may as well.
Everyone was like, I don't know. And even during the beach episode, everyone was like, don't know, but you look good.
Yeah.
I also like that the only time that Najimi basically like kind of is like, wait, I'm a dude, is to just like
get away from the person trying to hit on
completely
them.
stop the advances of a fucking street thug that they know from a former life of.
But like with that joke, the other side could just straight up be Tadano as like probably has never had a comprehensive sex ed class, so being like, what does that even mean? Like, I don't want to say this show is like inherently queer, but I do think it's interesting the amount that like Yamai is in love with Komi. I don't really want to say romantically because it's not actually romantically, it's stalkerishly, which is different, but like it's never even mentioned. There's never a moment of like, she's in love with a girl. It's just...
I mean, that's where it's like still a problem though, because like you have the abrasive character is
You are
some
not wrong.
some form of gender fluid, and the stalker character is a lesbian, apparently.
You're not wrong.
I'm also further in the... So I'm like, oh, but what about blah, blah, blah? But that hasn't happened yet. Or like, so that's... You're definitely fair. I think part of it is just everyone is, other than like Tadano and Najimi, are so horny for Komi that...
This bounces back a few weeks, but everyone's reactions to Komi is a lot closer to how people actually react to D in the novels for Vampire Hunter D.
Where they're just automatically like, ooh.
Oh, dude, that is one of the bits that does work for me every fucking time, where Komi's just like dead silent and someone's waiting for a reaction, like the Stan Bucks barista dude who has to just like you just get his internal monologue of like the uncomfortable nature of just having to deal with like, I don't know what to do. Okay, I'm gonna fill in the blanks.
But because it's an anime, they always go to the like...
The wild extreme.
Yeah.
It's a bit that does work for me every time it does.
I think I would have enjoyed this more if, like, I get it, like Komi not being able to communicate impacts the way that she wants to interact with the world, but the fact that everything constantly comes up Komi anyway, I don't care.
Oh, so you see...
She's basically living my dream where
I don't have to
even
talk when it
even
goes in
if
my
my
favor.
social anxiety gets the best of me, something still happens in my favor rather than it took me 2 hours and puking 3 times to go ask for a drop ad slip in college.
Maybe that's... And I don't want to sound like I'm disagreeing with you, because everything you just said is true. But maybe the reason why it works for me is, as someone with social anxiety, it's just kind of nice. Like, this show relaxes me.
There is a cognitive dissonance of like, I have an anxiety disorder. I have PTSD. These are real mental traumas for me that I have to deal with and issues that I'm familiar with. it's also a delightful show where I see someone like getting to just like make a friend that's helping them with that. And I was like, that's nice. I like that. But also at the same time, I am like, oh yeah, no, this isn't necessarily quite like a 1-to-1 ratio for what I feel. So it does take me out of it.
The low stakes might actually be part of what appeals to me on this one. Of I can just watch it and just like, because I have stressors everywhere in my real fucking life, and I can just watch this girl who's anxious as all fucking get out just slowly come out of her own shell and like do all the stuff I kind of wish I could do, but in a way that's not life or death.
Yeah, I can see that. And I guess it just the other thing, and it's not fair to this, and I hate it when it's not fair to this show because
you're so
it's
unhappy that you're critiquing this show.
well, because I did enjoy it. And that's the thing. Like everything I have to say makes it sound more and more like I didn't, even though like I was sitting there with a smile on my face.
You and I reviewed Men at Arms, which is one of my all-time favorite novels. We didn't say a single nice thing about it the whole fucking time.
But like, I don't even know where I was going because I just hit a fucking pothole.
Relax.
Oh, so it's not fair to any show that I do this to because it happens sometimes, not all the time, but it happens more than just to this. But it'll remind me of something else, and I'll just want to watch that more. So like
What was
this. So Komi Can't Communicate reminds me of a mix between Ted Lasso and Big Mouth, and I like both of those shows better separately.
Okay, I can see that.
And they both are things that are already relaxing to me as well. And so it's like, cool, I could continue watching this, or I could, throw on Big Mouth, and that feels a lot more like how I felt internally during high school to be able to deal with this and still be able to relax because it's a fucking silly kid show. And they're talking about sex, and it's not weird because the animation style doesn't make them look like non-fucking high schoolers. The beach episode was fucking weird, guys.
Oh yeah.
Every beach episode ever is fucking weird.
Yeah. Although I do appreciate that was the one moment. I will say that's the one saving grace I will give Yamai's character in the beach episode of like the internal debate of whether or not to let Komi go out in her school bathing suit, which is apparently
fetish wear.
Very hardcore fetish wear within the Japanese community. I was like,
Japan's fucking weird about schoolgirls. Like, we all knew this, but
very weird about schoolgirls. But yeah, I was like, okay, you get one, Yamai. You get one. And then I'm pretty sure she immediately undoes it.
Oh, she's
in
terrible
that same
throughout
episode.
the rest of the episode.
I love when they're getting to the school festival and like trying to figure out what to do for their classroom, and she's just a haunted house because it'll be hard work, but doing it will bring them all together. And in the dark, they can touch Komi's behind and no one will know. And then everyone was like, yeah, we can do that. And I was like, no.
In the manga, there's an entire chapter of her just trying to get an underskirt shot of Komi and like it, hilariously failing and bad things happening to Yamai as a result. Like I don't know why I don't think of the show as that horny, because you're fucking right. It's an extremely horny,
but not in a way that feels very realistic for how old they're supposed to be, though.
Yeah,
like a lot of their anxiety isn't tied to the like, I really wish that I could be doing something with this person right now.
See, for me, that almost makes it work more because it's not it's a very almost like innocent kind of horny, because it's not like, to be crass here, oh, I want to be balls deep in them right now, because most of them only have a passing understanding of what that means in the first place. Like, and yes, Big Mouth has its like insanely accurate, like, I'm so horny, oh my god. But like there is a kind of, I remember being in high school and being horny all of the time, but also having a thing about like, it's not that I didn't know how sex worked or whatever. We had sex ed, and as terrible as that was in Montana in 2003, but like,
yes.
I got sex ed in Darby.
Oh boy. But like,
don't worry, I'm a nerd. I read up.
You're like, I already knew more than you. But the level of kind of innocence about the horniness too. That's like, I desperately want to see this, but I'm not 100% sure like why or what I'll do with it once I do hit that. What is something that I remember.
I did like that about it, is that it did feel very like, it felt like it had a finger on like a pulse of that notion of like, I'm horny and I don't know why.
Or in Todd Knows case, I'm horny but I don't want to admit it.
That too.
I will say, and I guess you don't care about any of the characters, so this might not apply for you in the same way. That sounded very accusatory in a way I did not intend it to. One of the things that makes this show work for me is so often in anime, or just really in fiction in general, but it happens a lot in anime. The, like, just normal, nice guy that, like, happens to help out and is the main protag is one of the most obnoxious douchebags in history. And I don't have that with Tadano. Like,
Yeah.
I legitimately like him as a person, even if he is
He's a likable guy.
plain. He
Oh, I do love the little backstory you get of what they call the second year junior high syndrome.
I did enjoy that. I enjoyed that quite a bit. I was like, I get it.
Like, I get it.
I
get it.
remember being in 6th grade and wearing all black and never taking my sunglasses off. And
Man, the more I think about it, I really love all the side characters. I really like them all a lot. Like, I feel like Yamai is like my least favorite character. Otherwise, everybody is generally.
I desperately want to know more about the girl that wears like part of a set of armor.
That's also the fun anime ass thing of this show, is that like you find out in the second or third episode that this is not your normal average everyday high school. They like weirdos. They like outcasts.
So I was actually about to bring that up because that was another thing that I didn't like. I thought this show would have been so much more powerful if it would have been more about the fact that we all have to deal with these things at times. Which is kind of what the episodes do anyway.
I think they don't really own that's a bunch of weirdos. They just want to explain why there's a random girl with armor.
And I think they want to, like, just to give the explanation to how fucking weird the anime world they're existing in. It worked for me personally, of just like, there's a goddamn fucking Naruto knockoff character sitting behind Tadano who like will ninja throw a goddamn compass at him if he talks to Komi in the first episode. Like, there's a character walking around wearing like a gym outfit and then the legs of an armor, and one arm is armored, but otherwise they're just in their school gym outfit. I don't fucking know why. I love it.
The running girl that fucking does the like, your whatever degrees just needs to fucking run a Pokemon gym and get over it.
Right? Like, they just keep throwing out random like
The constant competition girl actually was probably my favorite.
The pink-haired one. She's fun.
I love
that.
that.
That was probably the best running gag for me this entire bit.
Just like the side gags of
I lost again. Oh, lost again. Lost again.
I beat her. Oh, wait. I beat her at seated height and weight? God damn it.
I guess seated height is a thing?
Yes?
I don't know. Every part of their sports day, I was like, other than like the relay race, was like, this is a terrible sports like
I feel like it's somewhat it's like the Japanese version of like the presidential fitness test of like literally a thing implemented by the government to be like, we got to make sure you guys can go to fucking war. You need to be able to fight and kill people for our oil or whatever fucking foreign interest may be at the time. And it's just persisted. No, but that was one of the characters I wanted to bring up, the constant competition one. Also, I want to know more about the character that's introduced later who is helping after Tadano becomes the class president.
Onohime. Just like really nice, helpful one that's worried he's being bullied.
And it definitely feels like she's like, by the end of that episode, it feels like she was trying to like become friends with him because she was curious, like interested and had a crush on him. And then she's like, oh, wait, no, Komi's interested. I'm out. And I was like, damn, did you just
Onohime and the really slow girl that makes my wife crack up every time she's on the screen
I
become literally connected at the hip. And I mean, it becomes a running gag that if Onohime lets go of that girl, she just disappears. So they just like,
my goodness,
every time you see them in the future, they're holding hands.
I love it.
And it becomes much more, this is what I was saying of like less problematic queer characters. They're never like officially defined as dating, but there's another character that comes in because there's a fucking over 100 characters across the course of this manga. You know, I gotta make 100 friends. Who is just like obsessed with Yuri Girl Love, who was like, those two are my favorites ever. And they're a couple. Like, and I just really love those two together.
I do too.
We do get more of their backstory, I believe, in the second season.
I especially love them more having just heard you talk about them, of like realizing that like she needs her and she needs her. Like she just needs to help and she needs to be helped. I love it.
I think part of what makes this work for me, and this is just on my own like selfish personal level, I grew up reading a shit ton of like Love Hina. I don't know if either of you know what.
I know of Love Hina.
I'm familiar with it. Haven't actually.
It was
watched
an early 2000s harem manga that doesn't have remotely the same concept, but did have like random, normal, like kind of pathetic guy who's actually a good dude, even though I've been rereading it as an adult, and no, he is not.
Never mind.
I'm still enjoying it, but I have to really be like, this was written 23 years ago. With like an eccentric cast of female characters, and like I get a little bit of that in this, like some of the stuff I like, but it's not nearly as fucking problematic as Love Hina was in retrospect. Because I actually like the harem genre because things I enjoy: a bevy of female characters, a bit of cheesecake here and there. I mean, I'm reading fucking Danger Girl. I draw pinups for fun.
You should check out Air Gears.
Have to remember that.
Rollerblading action RPG harem anime.
Into it.
Less kind of has harem aspects.
Now, this one doesn't do cheesecake too much. Like, there's like, oh, this character's so beautiful, but it's not like, oh, their clothes exploded for hilarious reasons. I don't know. I just, like, it works for me. Again, the soundtrack is fucking great, although they ride, as I said already, they ride that da-da-da-da
But also
really
the
hard.
opening theme is really good.
That opening theme also is, I feel like making fun of other slice of life anime openings with the like, this is openly just almost nothing to do with, she's dropping out of the sky. And in that first episode, and I know I heard you guys critiquing part of it when I was going to the bathroom in between our bits, but like the bit where they're just writing on the chalkboard and like communicating through there and befriending each other through there, I think it's just absolutely gorgeously shot. Like the whole thing is just beautiful and beautiful pacing.
Absolutely incredible use of 3D animation. That whole like the scenes that they're in are all 3D like spaces, and they're doing I think probably 2D renderings of the characters on top of it. It's super gorgeous. It looks really good. I do want to know. I want to find out if I can find a dub that actually translates all of the written text, because that's my number one complaint.
I can lend you the manga because they do in the manga.
Sweet.
Oh, that was horrendous.
There's so many like little bits
that
just
so
like.
much.
Well, I don't know what your joke just was. I can context clues figure out what you're trying to get to, but I don't actually.
It had been the thing I was most curious about going into this, having read the manga where they like translate everything she writes, because it is such a written based series. And I personally do not mind the amount that the like.
There's just, even beyond what she writes, there's a lot of writing.
There's a
just
lot of
in
writing.
general.
But like, she'll hold up something and just the narrator will like translate it. Honestly, it doesn't bother me, though I understand that might not be the case.
But they don't do it all the time, even still. There's certain bits that are just like, there's a bit about how, I forgot their name already. Ojami?
Najimi.
Najimi's like wearing a sandwich board, and like basically trying to do. It's during the school festival. And,
I think they say at one point that it says repent, but you're right. That joke does definitely get lost in.
I think like it's a bit about how they're trying to like do another Komi snowball effect, and I think it's supposed to imply that the sandwich board says "Come see Komi," basically along the lines, but you don't know that unless you read Japanese. But this is an issue with Netflix and their localization and translations. They're very bad at it. They don't give a fuck about doing any like written translation stuff.
Which is wild with the amount of anime that they put out.
It's wild. And also they really just like third party license it out from my understanding. They'll just do it as cheaply as possible.
That's fair.
And subsequently, written gags, stuff that you'll see, isn't actually translated because it's not verbal dialogue.
And that's given how much of like the jokes are kind of in the background of this rather than pushed to the forefront. I wonder how much I missed in just like signage and shit.
That's fair.
This is a thing that I'm actually legitimately going to try and track down if I can find another.
This is a thing that anytime I watch a foreign anything or read, a comic not from America or watch something, I always have the like, how much of this am I not getting? I've thought of it with every single anime we've watched. Just like, what are the gags? What are the hidden references? I mean, even with, you were talking about Blue Beetle, I knew enough to understand that they were making a reference to that parody superhero thing, but like, I only know that because I'm me, and I dive way too deep into, weird Wikipedia corners about superhero stuff. Like, otherwise I would have no fucking clue what that joke was.
It was kind of funny. The day the movie dropped, I was browsing around on some message boards and was checking out just to see what the Latina fucking response was to the movie dropping. And it's been pretty mixed because there's still a lot of people that Jaime hasn't been around long enough, so he's still sort of seen as pandering. I realize he's been around for 10 years and I'm on that side. Like, he's been around long enough, bro. Just like accept him. But like, there's still a lot of people that are like, they just took a legacy character and made him brown. Give us our own character.
That's a real argument to be had, and I've actually heard really good arguments on both sides. It's come up with Miles as well.
I don't mind because he's different enough from the other Blue Beetles that I don't care.
He's so wildly different from Ted Cord. Like,
I like both ends. Do both.
Yeah, I mean, that's really kind of the right
Take some
answer,
fucking white characters, make them brown, because they shouldn't be brown. They should be brown. Just make them brown. And then give us some new ones.
But one guy was like, call me when they make the El Chapulín Colorado movie. And the response was like, just go watch the fucking movie, bro. So I was like, yeah, El Chapulín.
I also felt that when they did the bit with the country girl from the Sticks who just like starts talking in a southern accent.
Right, we're back in Komi. Sorry. Yep.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
But like, that sent me down a rabbit hole. It's like, okay, so is there like that much of a notable dialogue difference for like people in Japan? Like, if you live in the sticks, that like does it sound like to a native Japanese speaking person that like, oh, that person has a southern draw?
Well, we talked about it with Food Wars as well, because
oh yeah,
Megami gets a little southern, and
like all of her friends and family, I have like that their southern accent.
There is definitely, obviously, some kind of accent that goes on in more. I mean, that happens fucking here in Montana, and we're nothing but rural. But I do think it's funny that dubbing only can go to straight to just like
southern.
The southern as most southern can be.
I was born in the sticks, so I'm from the south.
That fancy girl with her stand bakes and her saba way.
I fucking hated that.
I hated that.
Oh, dude, I really did enjoy that one. That one was a good little one.
What's really funny is like if you went by that same dubbing convention of just going from sounding from the sticks equals the South, then that's how you would dub Arnold Schwarzenegger. Apparently, he sounds like a total farm boy in German.
Also, that's how you would dub us.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Oh, that's amazing.
Okay, so I'm curious, Tyler.
It's not a tumor.
Oh, jeez. Is there any moments that like kind of stuck out to you, good or bad, that like strong? Because I don't want to just like lay it on you because you had critiques of this, but in some ways that's almost more interesting to talk about than just me being like, it makes me feel happy.
I get what you mean, though. It's. I don't know how to describe it other than like it feels like an easy listening TV show of like, it's just charming. It
just brings my blood pressure down.
It's comfortable. It's like, I know how to. I could transverse. I could get through high school again. I think I have my social skills down enough that I could, if I got put back in high school, this would be fine for me. This does not stress me out anymore. It did at one point, and now that I know it, but I enjoy it.
As much as we're a podcast about liking things does not mean not critiquing things.
Yeah, you can also enjoy things and be critical of them. Like,
I mean, things I really enjoyed, like the initial conversation with the blackboard's a beautiful sequence.
Mm-hmm.
Not just because of the animation standpoint, like that's just like a genuinely like human, heartfelt, touching connection moment. They did it extremely well. I miss there being any sort of stakes. They don't seem to lean into any one aspect of it enough for me. Even like I would have liked it.
It makes me think of the fucking Great British Bake Off. Okay,
that's also kind of just like a. Have you watched a lot of Slice of Life out of curiosity?
No, it just felt bland.
That's kind of the thing, is that it's kind of they're not really stakes in the same regards as like other animes, as far as I like can.
But there weren't even like life stakes. Like everything turned out good for them, even if they didn't do anything. That was my problem.
That's fair.
Yeah. I mean, but also at the same time, like in the grand scheme of things, with your high school experience, did things really go really fucking terribly all the time?
I know a couple people who listened to the show that the answer was kind of yes.
Yeah, I mean, I was also homeless during high school at several points in my life, so like, yeah, but
I understand the point because I was fucking lucky as hell. But
it just, I wanted it to do something more. Like it was, yeah, it's neat that like some of the characters are just fucking weird in the back, but then they don't lean into that. And so then it also takes away from the fact that it's not just about normal people. So it's almost kind of like, look at all these non-neurotypicals over there. Let's observe them in their fucking zoo and laugh at the way that they have to make their connections. I kind of wish it was just about a person having problems in high school and giving them actual problems, even if it's only for an episode, and then you can resolve it the next one.
I do see your argument. I do agree with your argument that like I think it probably would have been stronger if the rest of the school was just like normal high schoolers.
Or if you showed it better across a spectrum. Like Komi has extreme social anxiety, but show how everyone has to deal with that a little bit to some extent, and then the way that they help her deal with it, they can also learn from, and they can all grow as people, but nobody's really growing except for her, which the show already gives her.
I will argue Tadano grows a lot, even over the course of this season.
I think
he already started off being the best at trying to actually connect with people. He just gets a chance to actually connect with more people.
He's good at connecting with Komi,
which no one else can do, so he kind of made a breakthrough already from the get-go.
Yeah, but like, I mean, he's not very good at communicating with... Okay, I'm sorry.
Plus, he's the one that already has other friends to introduce her to actually get this rolling. Like, he might not be the best at it, but he's normal. And that's...
See, for me, and I'm trying to look at this just from these 12 episodes we watched, because, as I said, I fucking binged...
I had to stop myself from binging, in all honesty. I wanted to go for it.
I mean, I'm talking about the manga. I binged 20 volumes of the manga in the space of a couple of weeks. So for me, a lot of the stuff that I'm like, but no, that might not come up until like season 3 or 4. But me, it happened in really quick succession. So it's not that I'm saying that you're wrong, just you're not. It's just the way that I ingested it made it hit differently. Because almost a significant number of the background characters get much more time as the series goes on, because like Agari gets quite a bit of time this season. She doesn't get nearly as much time going forward as you get farther in. Even Najimi, who's, the third main character in this, gets significantly less time, in my opinion, to the series' detriment, but still, as it goes on and as she's growing and making more friends. And for me, a large part of this show is we put Komi and Tadano are kind of on the two ends of the spectrum. Komi is regarded as this absolute perfect person, and as she's meeting more people, she's becoming more humanized and being brought down to earth. While Tadano he ranges between so normal people forget about him. It's played a little heavier in the manga, but the bit where they're doing like all of the reviews, like check your height, check your seating height or whatever, he is so average that, I mean, he's literally the national standard for every single thing that happens. But people fucking hate him at the beginning of this series. Other than Najimi, who likes everyone, and Komi, who he befriends in the first episode, setting off the plot. But as Komi is being brought down to more human, Tadano, even though he's the most average guy in the world, is being brought into a level of more extraordinary than he's being given credit for. And I guess I was reading it as like watching him grow and expand more, while you're taking it as more like he's already there.
I think he's already there, and it's more that other people are noticing it. I don't think he's changing at all.
That's fair.
It does also, I'd lean with Tyler on that front, only from the standpoint of like most of the time that you see people just like blatantly hating, I don't know, it's because he's interacting with Komi. And it's like, how fucking dare you talk to Komi? You don't deserve to even be in her presence, you piece of shit.
You're not wrong. And also, I don't want to sound like I'm coming across as like, well, I'm the Komi expert because I've read so much of this. So I just, it's the stuff we talked about on before. How you ingest media sometimes affects how, the media affects you.
I would also say that he does have, I feel like he has growth, but
his growth is a lot more subtle.
It's a lot more subtle because he already is at a place where he can communicate. He actually could talk to people. He can answer questions in class. He could go and order a sandwich at a restaurant. So his amount of growth is going to be much smaller than Komi's because he already has like a base level higher.
I guess it's less that it's his growth, but it's more kind of his understandings in the way that he is special and other people getting to understand the ways that he's special, because the only person who saw it at all before Komi is Najimi, who loves everyone. So it's kind of its own, like...
As much as I find Najimi exhausting, I kind of love their friendship.
Yes.
Them and Tadano.
I do not disagree with you at all that Najimi is exhausting, because Najimi
reminds me of someone I knew who we would often describe as great for 3 days, good at a week, terrible at 2 weeks.
It reminds me of my college roommate that made me fail. Shut up. My college roommate that I absolutely loved, that I absolutely failed all of college, not a small amount because of their influence. Because they're very good at convincing me to do stupid things instead of going to class. Like, that was very Najimi. I think the strongest, because they will bring in a third character. We're not doing the second season as a episode, so I guess I can spoil a little more than I would have tried to. I'm not going to go too hard. They will bring in a third character, probably in what will be season 3, and they do bring in my least favorite trope, which is the love triangle. And they don't play it too hard, and they play it in a way that, like, everyone still has legitimate affection and respect and friendship with each other. Which, what I hate most about the love triangle is watching people stop liking each other because mostly holding the stupid ball. But, like, I think and I'm not going to get into it because I think that character works really well, but I think Najimi has the balance a little bit too of, as those two obviously have like romantic tension forming, Najimi has the like ultimate platonic affection for kind of everyone, which helps balance out that, like, it keeps the romantic tension from overwhelming anything that's going on. Because there's definitely romantic comedies or slice of life dramas or whatever where, like, for the love of God, we have to talk about something else sometimes.
Towards the end of the season, as they started playing more into the romantic comedy side, I did enjoy that more than just the straight up slice of life than we got at the beginning.
I am really curious, and I'm not trying to argue like, oh no, we should do the next season next, because you already said no, and I was openly not putting a vote in on that one.
I would be curious to know if you like your thoughts on the second season.
That's what I was gonna say,
regardless of
like,
whether or not we like.
If you're enjoying the second season more, or not the second, if you're enjoying the second half more, I'm wondering if you would like it more as they have more time to kind of delve into what stuff is going on, as opposed to. It took them a couple episodes to kind of find their footing because they had to really set up the like concept of this show.
Which is an interesting thing that I kept meaning to look this up and I still have not. But like the first episode is basically like one chunk. It is basically their first day, Tadano meeting Komi. The rest of the episodes are all very vignette.
2 or 3 little chapters per.
And I'm curious to know, because this is a thing with Japanese broadcasting, where they'll basically sometimes with animes do smaller episodes throughout the whole week, and then basically on the 5th day they'll air it as like a full half-hour block.
Oh, I don't know.
So I'm curious to know if they did that with this, because it did have a pacing to it that felt.
The pacing was weird. I kept like pausing it at what I thought was like the beginning or ends of episodes so that I could like either like I was done for the day or like I'm gonna go like run to the store real quick and grab something to drink.
Well,
and I'd be like, oh, I'm 8 minutes in.
And sometimes they'll do that like end credits and then have a whole like 3 extra scenes after the credits, and other times the credits
just roll and then it's done. Yeah.
That was wrong. But I did that a number of times where I was just like, oh, I'm going to pause it at the end of this episode so that it doesn't autoplay into the next one. I'm 8 minutes into the episode. When did that happen? Oh, okay, I'm still pausing it here.
There's a whole subsection of anime that's just like 7-minute long episodes, and it's.
I mean, that's basically Steven Universe and Adventure Time. Like, we just started tapping into that.
And then they'll on re-release or like when it gets translated, it usually gets blocked out into half-hour blocks, mostly because that's what American broadcasting will sell it as.
I'm trying to think if there are any character. I mean, this has been such a scattershot approach to this. Like, if you've never watched Komi, this episode has to be fucking nonsense to you. But
I thought it was extremely clever how they ended the season with what Komi was doing, working both textually and metatextually with the thank you and like thank you for your support.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was just clever writing. That made me light up. I was like, this I like. This is awesome. They're playing at a couple different things in a way that I enjoy.
As well as the karaoke scene before that, I liked, like, as a kind of contextual, like, closing for the whole series, well, the whole season, leaving your characters all with, like, a certain state that they're in, and then jumping into the, like, in media res, going from that scene of singing karaoke to the title sequence that they're singing. I don't know, I liked it. It was good.
Yeah, Komi was supposed to be singing the intro song, I think it was.
Yeah,
and
I'm pretty sure it's the intro song.
Yeah. The Japanese karaoke booth things always, I know that that's just how they do it, but like for me, part of the fun of karaoke is inflicting that upon strangers. As someone who has done a shit ton of karaoke, that's part of my fun.
Oh no, you do it on your friends. You inflict it on your friends.
I don't know. It's their karaoke appeals to me more, but I also don't do karaoke, so I might be a little more willing if it's just. Nope, that's a lie, because I've done karaoke at a Bellagarth event where I'm good friends with literally every person there, and they're like, "It's your turn to sing," and I'm like, "Fuck, it isn't."
I gotta get the 2 drinks in me first, but then I'm good to
go. What's your karaoke song?
So my 2 go-tos, 3 go-to, Clint Eastwood, Handlebars by Flowbots, and pretty much any Stone Temple Pilots.
Fair enough.
But like Handlebars is the favorite of the DJ that I go to the karaoke at. That's his favorite that I do. So
okay. I'm trying to think if there's any character that's come up that we didn't really talk about.
I mean, we didn't talk about the one that we loosely talked about that I really did actually love was the one with the second year junior high syndrome or whatever. The
Oh my god!
the fucking,
I can't think of her name, but she's the Dragon Force girl.
yes,
Yeah, I genuinely enjoyed that.
I
entire
would have
bit.
been so in love with her when I was in middle school, high school. Like that. Now she annoys me, but like as a kid, she would have been fucking catnip for me when I was that age. Like,
No, I loved that whole bit. I was like, oh no, this is getting the awkwardness right where it should be for these kids. I'm happy about this, and they're commenting on the fact that this is weird instead of just letting it go, and it's kind of played up. I like this. All right.
in the manga, they kind of start to have her and Yamai have a friendship, which I always thought was like weird. It's kind of a love-hate friendship between them, of them being shitty to each other, but they're always hanging out, which is a very high school thing that I remember. I never hung out like with one of my personal enemies, but I knew plenty of people that was like, just admit you're best fucking friends. Like,
weird to have enemies as a child.
Yeah.
yeah, because they're your like sworn opponent, but they're also like,
That motherfucker stole my Pokemon card. He's dead to me.
that kid had the ball and wouldn't throw it to me.
Komi having a hot mom I laughed at.
Um,
Forever 17 or whatever.
I don't know if they're going to do it in the anime, but I desperately need them to. They do flashbacks in the manga in a couple of scenes that shows how her and Komi's dad got together.
because Komi's dad is super awkward as well.
Komi's dad is low-key one of my favorite characters as we meet more about them, because we have a scene where he like basically kidnaps Tadano and takes him to the aquarium and just starts like, he's basically testing Tadano to be like, are you worthy of being like in my daughter's life? And Tadano's just like, yeah, okay, like, this is fucking weird. I got kidnapped by Komi's dad, but
Whatever.
cool. And it turns out the only place he can talk is when he's talking about sea life.
Oh, that's great.
I really like his little sister. I'm looking forward to more scenes with the little sister, because that will come up. Because she thinks she has Tadano's ability to like understand people and read the room, and she does not.
Which, yeah, Tadano, we really glossed over that Tadano's in a maid outfit for like the last 2 episodes.
Yeah,
That was pretty great.
That was great.
it comes up again, I think. Later on, another male character will be brought in, and he's just like obsessed with Tadano, but not in like a bad way. He just actually thinks he's like one of the first people to realize like,
Todd knows the shit.
Tadano's actually a pretty cool guy. Like,
Hey, y'all know Todd? No, he's a cool guy.
but both Tadano's mom and his sister think that those two are going out, Tadano and this other guy, Katai. And I do like that, like, while that is played up for laughs, it's never played up for laughs at the expense of, like, the idea of same-sex relationships. And, like, in all cases, it's always them, like, going up to him being like, I accept you for this. And Tadano's like, I don't... Accept me for what? Like, what's happening right now? Like,
Thanks, but why?
and they're, like, very desperate to be like, he's a good boy and we support him. And he's like, okay. Still don't understand what's happening. I just want dinner. Like,
Glad you're so accepting, though. Cool.
but for real, what's happening with dinner? Like,
Yeah, I think we covered all the main characters that I can think of. Everyone else is very side character, like background character, feels like.
we didn't talk about Agari much. They don't
really touch on Agari enough in the first season. I feel like
they couldn't decide what she was, because at first she's the super like the other super awkward girl. Komi can make a friend with her because they're both insanely socially awkward, which actively untrue in my remembrances of two people with extreme social anxiety in high school.
oh yeah, it's yeah.
But
Sometimes
then they
it's
just-
like magnets. They
Yeah.
they connect real well, but sometimes it's like magnets and they repel real well.
But they start with that, and then they like immediately, because from that final moment, it becomes like she's a closet freak, and once you get to know her at all, she doesn't hide it very well, which is Fine. I also like remember that kid as well.
I don't remember that kid because I was that kid.
I was about to say that might have been me.
I don't think I was that kid, but like there was plenty of people who were like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna talk about the way that I'm a freak until you minorly accept me for it, and now you understand it's my entire personality."
Oh, we talking freak stuff? Let me tell you about my freak stuff.
I think it's the way that she's like, "You could treat me like a dog." That I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like,
oh, you're gonna take Doggy for a walk? It's like, no, have some self-respect.
You're right. I do. Just to dive back though, I do love the mom. Although I'm eternally 17. Like, you shouldn't be. But I recognize that is probably a cultural thing more than anything else.
Also, for some reason, I just found it funny that Komi has a hot mom. And I
Komi-
remember, like, people with hot moms in high school had it even rougher. And I'm like, finally she gets brought down to earth a little bit.
And that person is popular if they have a hot mom.
Also, we didn't get enough of her brother.
He will come up more.
I feel like they were setting him up, and then we was like, well,
again, like, it's interesting. I kind of think this should have been like 24 episode seasons, but I'm increasingly. When we first started talking in general nerdery a few years ago, and they were moving away from 24 episode seasons to like 12 being the standard, we were like, yeah, 24 is too many episodes. But now 12 is the normal, and I'm like,
I think it depends on the kind of story that you're telling, because I could see.
I was gonna say 16 to 20, so 18 is, yeah.
Well, like
you're right. Just the number of shows that I'm like, this needed 3 more episodes this season to really like have the time to do what it wanted to do.
Whereas like this, I could see like you giving this show a 24 episode season. I could see this show having a fucking 50 episode season for whatever reason anybody would want to.
I mean, that.
I just wanted like, because I'm trying.
I agree.
I'm trying not to do the like, well, this is gonna happen. This is gonna, but like I keep, want to see more of the brother. We do see more of the brother. He's not a major character, but he does appear repeatedly, and I do love him. And spoiler, but whatever. He doesn't have social anxiety. He just doesn't like to talk. And then you have like he's basically what everyone thinks Komi is. And then you have Tadano's sister, who thinks she's what Tadano is, and thinks that he's what Komi actually is. So she thinks that he has social anxiety. So she's made it her mission to like bring him out of his shell and help him overcome his social anxiety. And he's just like, no, please, I just want to not anything, not talk, not go the fuck away. And honestly, I would watch a show just of those two, but it would be a much more awkward show. So it actually might be more your speed for what you're talking about.
Yeah. I will say, if this would have been a 24 episode season, I might have freaked out a little bit earlier this weekend, because I almost freaked out as it was. It was kind of funny. Like an episode and a half in, when I realized, like, this is fine, but it's not my cup of tea. What did I sign up for? And I backed out. Netflix has it listed as 124 episode season. And I was like, what? Then I looked it up on Wikipedia, and I was like, 12 episodes I can do.
I did tell you not to binge it. I know that life got in the way, but
Netflix fucked me up too. It's like, oh god, Zach lied to me. I have to do 24 episodes. I don't have enough time.
Oh no, but so I did end up watching this through about 1 3/4 times through the entire season. Not the full 2 times, but I did get most of the way through it, and then had to back up to about episode 2 or 3, and then re-go from that point forward, because I missed a ton because I was tuning out.
Well,
and I also
so many little stories at once, like
and I had to throw on the dub,
because otherwise what you were doing,
because otherwise I wasn't able to follow it, because I just stopped paying attention.
Sure.
Although I love the soundtrack, I loved
so
that
good.
going in the background for everything I was doing.
Just like
best part of this for me,
that pause
soundtrack.
And you're like, look up, dun, 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 dun.
I started watched 2 episodes 2 weeks ago, then got back into it, and then ended up binging 10 episodes all in one sitting. And then rewatched it again over the weekend in one sitting.
You said you were going to show it to your to Kat. Have you done
Oh
that
yeah,
yet,
I did.
or-
Yeah, she
okay.
watched that second.
What'd she think of it?
I don't know if it's necessarily her cup of tea, but also she seemed to enjoy it.
So, I am so curious on this one because partly because it's so different than like anything else. I mean, look at the shows that I'm watching right now, like Star Trek: Strange New Worlds, Ahsoka, Chuck.
Man, I gotta lend you Yuri on Ice.
We're gonna get to Good Omens season 2 soon. Which, by the way, I want to do an episode and get my. I could get CC back on the show again if we do Good Omens again. It's probably the only way.
We have to do it at some point, just because it'll make me watch it, because I also have not watched it yet. Although that's also partially just because mine and Margaret's schedule hasn't been lining up too well the past
I don't
couple
have
weekends.
Amazon Prime, and that's why. But this is so different than anything else that I watched that, like, been like, I really like this. People should watch it, but it's hard for me to sell it because it's, you know.
High school teen comedy romance anime, like it's a hard sell unless like,
My first word is soothing, I think, is why I have trouble selling it. And it's why you found it boring. Like,
But I find Ted Lasso soothing.
that's fair.
I don't know.
I
It
also
was
find
just-
Ted Lasso soothing.
This was. I wish it would have leaned harder into any of the one things it was doing.
It's fair.
It was just too reserved on all of it for me.
I see that this is
Mm-hmm.
a valid argument in my opinion.
Yeah, that's
None of
I-
it was
I-
bad.
I keep wanting to argue you, but you keep being right, which is making me almost mad. It's not. It's
I
but,
also-
like,
I think because of how nonchalant isn't the right word, but like it's not trying to be necessarily a comedy the whole time. It's not trying to be a romance the whole time. It is just kind of soothing and
slice of life,
yeah.
which I think is accurate because slice of life. Like, as much as I fucking love a like situational comedy that really dives into
You can
aspects
get
of the world.
slice of life that has like weird fucking sci-fi or fantasy stuff in it. Like The Devil is a Part-Timer is definitely slice of life.
Could not get into that one.
Um,
But I don't like anything that involves fast food, like as a show, because I just feel greasy because I remember fast food.
but like
Fast
he's
food.
the literal fucking devil and he has to fight demons and angels and shit. So like you can get weird on slice of life, but like as a genre itself, it's usually pretty soothing and kind of teetering on the edge of boring if you're not looking for that concept.
I mean, it's the same reason I like Kuba Won't Let Me Be Invisible and actively don't want to show that to Tyler if he found this one kind of slow. God, I hate modern anime naming conventions, to be honest with you. And I wonder how much of that is translation. Like, I think Komi Can't Communicate is a solid name, but Kuba Won't Let Me Be Invisible. The Devil is a Part-Timer. If your name takes more
don't
than
like
like
the
3
translation.
words...
It reminds me so much of like 70s spaghetti western namings, when it's like God, oh fuck, what was the one? There's a couple, like, if you see Django, shoot first or else you're dead.
Yeah, that just tells me that
That's
English
a
is not your
tagline,
primary...
not a title.
Exactly.
You just gave me the opening line to your movie. That's not the
It's like, okay, I think you can do more than like 3 words if you have the like colon. So like Food Wars, colon, Shokugeki no Sama. Star Trek, colon, Strange New Worlds. But like, that time I got reincarnated as a slime. Or like...
I'll tell you this much. I fucking remember the name of that. Also, I really love that time I got reincarnated as slime.
I'm not saying the shows are bad. I'm saying I don't like the name, like the title convention.
I'll tell you this much. I can't ever remember the starting of the name, but I remember the second half of I don't want to get hurt, so I put all my stats in defense. But
Yeah,
there's
the first half's like, for sure, baby.
I'm pretty sure it's like it's Bufori.
Bufori.
Bufori, I don't want to get hurt, so I put all my stats in defense.
Is that a real word? Was I accidentally just super racist there, or
I don't fucking know, but I do know that Bufori is a thing. Is the name of the show.
You look like... Are you looking up Giallo names?
No, like, Giallo names I can pull off the top of my head. Giallos have really fun names that I think are a step above the fucking Western names of that. Because you have like, your vice is a locked door and only I have the key.
That sounds like a porn.
$5 for an August moon.
That also sounds like a porn.
What's the one with the crystal plumage?
The bird with the crystal plumage.
That sounds like a David Attenborough documentary.
It's actually a really good porn.
Don't torture a duckling.
It just seems like sound advice.
Yeah.
Who's torturing ducklings?
I don't know. I haven't watched that one yet. The Strange Vice of Mrs. Ward. That one sounds like a porno.
Yeah, that sounds like The Devil and Mrs. Jones.
Anyway.
On that, really... Okay, do we have a moment that we can end at that's not, this sounds like a porn for this slice of life teen? No?
Look,
Okay.
Mommy, a stalker. That is a stalker. I'm just going to go back to my favorite line for the whole show.
It is the lines like that, though, that are thrown in just really quick and gone, which makes me wonder what I missed in, like, signage and stuff in the
Right.
backgrounds. That's the exact sort of thing where I'm like, what did they not translate for me?
This
You
is...
motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You know what might be part of what builds the affection for the show so much for me? Komi makes me think of my wife. Cece gets real quiet and uncomfortable around people that she doesn't know. She straight up said the most relatable moment on TV she's ever seen is the bit where they're playing. It's not Smash Bros, but it is Smash Bros.
I loved that bit because it was one of the times they were actually leaning into, like,
people were explaining
stylizing
how
shit.
to play Smash Bros to her, and she didn't understand what was happening, and I've done that to Cece like 4 times. That, like, quiet and really adorable excitement when she gets that, like, the cat ears popping up to represent, like, really intent on that moment, or when Tadano goes, "Congratulations, you've made your first friend," and then you've made another friend about Najimi, and there's just a pause, and then just a quick, like, jump up in the air. I don't know, it makes me think of CC. And then to make it even more, there's a, like, 2-chapter arc that's literally just them playing Among Us later on. And her being, like, super intense about Among Us, and I was like, oh my god, this is CC. Like, that was the moment where I went, I've been reading about my wife this entire time. Like,
That's fucking great. I love that so much. That's a great way to end this episode.
Okay. Next time, we're not actually sure what we're doing next time yet, because we weren't sure what we know the genre.
Well, I was going to say, the other thing that might have got me more interested in Komi Can't Communicate.
Goats.
Yeah. Well,
Sorry,
now
I'm still
that you
thinking about
said
my
it,
wife, but
now that you said it, but I was going to say giant fucking robots.
that's what we're doing next time, because we are wrapping up our season of anime, and we've done shonen anime and slice of life and whatever the fuck Vampire Hunter D is, and a classic with Castle Cagliostro.
Neo-Gothic.
I was about to say an amazing gothic romance.
It's a seinen kind of more. Like, it's not a shonen, though. It's not like a teen boy. We're going to dive into the mecha genre, what first got me into anime back in the day. It'll probably be Gundam, but I can't say for sure.
Eureka 7's better, though.
Die in a fire.
I mean, giant mechas were probably my first anime, too.
Well,
'cause-
Pokemon was my first, but, like, that was really where I was like, I like anime now. Gundam Wing.
I mean,
Oh, wait, the MS Team is better, but Gundam Wing is where I started.
I'm gonna explore my memory for next time when we talk about it more.
My Neighbor Totoro was the first one I ever watched, but that's its own thing. Anyways, that's for next time. In the meantime, we're your generals of nerdery. I'm Zach.
I'm Tyler.
Dismissed.
Hi, everybody. General Tyler here. If you like the show, please hit subscribe however you're listening to us right now. Also, if you could rate and review us however you're listening to us right now, or preferably over at Apple Podcasts, we would super appreciate it, as the whole world is ran on algorithms, and we want to be all up in them, getting our voice out to more places. Also, I mean, tell your friends. We always appreciate that. If you want to get in contact with us, ask us questions, give us comments, email us generalnerderypod@gmail.com. You can also contact us through our website, www.generalnerdcast.com. While you're there, check out all of our back catalog, or click the links up at the top as we are part of the Earworm Podcast Network. Go check out all of our sister shows. We're involved with most of them, so if you already like listening to us talk, it might be in your best interest. And if you want to check out everything from the network, head over to earworm.com, EARVVYRM.com. We'd super appreciate it. Love you all. Have a good one.